CleanCore Solutions Inc. This stock is on the New York Stock Exchange under ZONE, and we have an update video for you today. In the last month, the company has been busy. If we go back to September 11th, they note that they've acquired over 500 million Doge as part of a strategic treasury accumulation plan. And they now have an additional 100 million Doge, expanding digital asset to over 600 million. And now it's over 710 million with over 20 million in unrealized gains. That's the first thing that sticks out to me. And it's for a very simple reason. The market cap right now, as I see it, is sitting here at 28.77 million. So they have unrealized gains of 20 million. That seems pretty good. As we read the news release here, they tell us that with over 20 million of unrealized gains and sufficient cash to keep acquiring Doge, supported by the partnership of Bitstamp by Robinhood. There you go. And if we look here to the stock, this is an update video to the cup and handle. Sometimes during the cup, it's hard to perfectly understand exactly what is happening. And this is where what's important for us to understand if we like the stock as an investment opportunity. Again, CleanCore Solutions Inc. under ZONE on the NYSE. We have to understand what we own. Well, we basically own Doge. So if we look here to Dogecoin or the coin, we can note that on the monthly chart, there's a massive cup and handle forming here. It's now bounced off the 50 MA. And what's really notable about this is that this cup and handle pattern can normally tell us whether or not we're actually getting the formation happening during the handle. And then we get confirmation by going to a new all-time high. We can also look at something called a measured move. So from the high to the low, we can often go from the high to the next high or a target price. This is called a bullish continuation pattern, and it kind of looks like a cup of coffee. So you have your cup, you have your handle, and then you have your handle low and your target. So if we go through that here and we understand that, okay, well, this pretty obviously looks like a cup and handle. Are there other cryptos that look similar? Yes, there are. If we have a look here, well, there's Bitcoin. I often say that leaders lead and followers follow. So Doge is not the second or third biggest crypto. We know that. So if we look to other asset classes like Ethereum, or if we look to here, let's just look at Ethereum. This one's not quite as easy to see. So it is a bit of a cup, but it's a bit sloppy. It didn't quite go back up to the relative high here. So that is notable. What that actually means is that Solana was able to pick up some slack and actually look more like a cup and handle, which means there was more excitement over here in Solana. There's your cup and handle. We're waiting for this one here to go up to the high. So it appears to me like maybe this is where Dogecoin is right now. If we go to Doge, DOG, USD, we're above the key relative high. That's one of the most important technical analysis things for me. So what used to be resistance is currently acting as support. So in my opinion, if you want to look at the stock as an investment, again, one more time, that is ZONE or CleanCore Solutions Inc. You need to understand that this is basically a vehicle to buy Doge. And that's what they're telling you. We currently have $20 million in unrealized gains, and we plan to buy more because we have been buying more. 500 million, 600 million, 710 million, and they have the ability to continue to buy or to average up. I think that this might be a very good purchase. And the reason why is because the volume also tells me that if I was to look at this and it was not anything else, Doge is not my favorite asset class, but when these things move, big guys go biggest. They go first, mediums go next, juniors go last. But the juniors always move the most. If you remember what happened during the first ramp, oh boy, right? These things can really go hundreds of percent or more. But if we look objectively here, we're going to do the same analysis we would do on any other ticker. We're going to grab the horizontal ray and a magnet. We're now going to stamp that here on the key relative high. That's now turned into a pivot. So what used to be resistance is now acting as support. We have it right here. Resistance, acting as support. So we would expect that exact same thing happening here. And if it does, it's constructive because we're building a staircase of support as we potentially go higher. All right, what used to be resistance is currently acting as support. That's our monthly low. And in hindsight, those might be really good if the cup and handle plays out and we go higher. So let's think about this. There's our coffee. Is it time to power up? They got a whole bunch of Doge. the chart looks similar here. So it's not the same thing. Like I would try to look at the business a little bit more from this perspective right here, because that's really when things kind of changed. I see it as an ability to get in when they had an idea. There was a little bit of stock market psychology chart. Now it's right back down on support. Lots of volume. And again, it's a proxy for Doge. So the cup and handle is forming. Bitcoin, it's already massively higher. Solana, Ethereum, they're trying to go for it. There could be a lot of pickup potential if we think about the price target here. But before we do that, let's remind ourselves of who is backing this, because CleanCore Solutions Inc. aims to acquire 1 billion Doge. Oh my goodness. And they're backed by the Dogecoin Foundation. So if anybody's going to buy Doge, I'm guessing they're going to be one of the companies to get backed. And the other reason why is because they also have that Robinhood affiliation with their other company here, Robinhood Omaha, through Bitstamp. So this looks quite constructive, and I'll leave a link to these news releases for you in the description. They're getting coverage on other networks too, though. I can see here on Yahoo Finance, CleanCore amasses 710 million Doge, worth 174 million. Is Doge about to explode? We kind of went through the thesis on that one. And we talked about how it's backed by the Doge Foundation. So what it really comes down to here is if Doge is going to repeat the same pattern, let's actually go to Bitcoin here, because this will be a good example for us to show the measured move. So let's go here to Bitcoin. And what we're going to do now is one of two things. So we're going to go delete here. We're going to grab our Fibonacci retracement and extension tool. We're going to go from the previous high down to the low. And that gives us, first of all, a retracement from 69,000 down to roughly 15, and then extension targets. So the first way that I like to derive price targets for a lot of stocks when they go to blue skies is just follow the algos, right? That's why I have a platform called the algo. So I like to follow what the algos are doing. They look at mathematical numbers. This is a golden ratio. That's where stocks usually like to go to before they have a little bit of a correction. And what happened? What used to be resistance, acting as support. It's a staircase, because we go pop, flag, pop, flag, pop, flag. It looks like a staircase in hindsight, or a whole bunch of poles if you're playing golf, right? There's your flag, there's your pole. It turns into another flag with another pole. Well, we're probably going to form another flag at some point. So it's just building support as we go higher. If we do the measured move, though, so first of all, we got the 161. That's one way to get a price target. The second way to do it is to do this. We just draw a box. Again, I'm not Picasso. I know that. Draw a nice little box here, and then we just go copy, paste. And we move that box up to see a measured move. So what this shows us here is from the high to the low, from the top of the cup down to the bottom, copy paste, which is this right here. You can see the black line down to the handle low, and then it goes all the way up. So I should actually go from the handle low. My apologies. We've already hit it, and we've gone higher. So pretty ironically, that looks like it's the 161 target. Boom, there we go. Target hit. Coffee time. Okay, let's look at Dogecoin. Let's grab our Fibonacci retracement tool. Let's go to the all-time high. Oops. Let's go back to here. Retracement. Previous top down to the low. 75 cents. That's a pretty nice number. Yeah, I think it's a pretty nice number. All right, so that would be our first target. Right now we're sitting at 25. So there's a lot of accumulation happening here too, because the sellers are met with a lot of buying. There's a lot of buying that's happening here. Volume always precedes price. So if we're going to get a large move higher, we're just going to finally follow the other coins. I think we see it here. All right, next target. All-time high down to the low. Or oops, let's go like this. Down to the low. Forgot to draw the other side of it. Let's copy paste it. We got to stretch things out because we're looking for targets here. Let's go from the handle low. So it basically means we should be looking for all-time highs if we go from the handle low. I like to go from the high up here because I found that actually is much more reliable for me. And if we look at that, we could maybe get to $1. That's roughly what Elon said, right? Maybe Doge is finally going to go to $1. So is everyone going to be made whole? Because right now we got higher lows, higher highs, and it's pretty constructive. So again, one more time, if you want to wait to get exposure to the potential move that is happening here in Dogecoin, and a company that right now appears like it has a market cap of $28 million with 20 million unrealized in Dogecoin gains, you might want to consider looking at CleanCore Solutions Inc. And for the audience, please just make sure to read the description for full disclosure details. And with that said, thank you very much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.